This episode of the MLB Guardcast is brought to us by NovaDigitalArts. Are you looking to spruce up your company's logo or website? Are you looking for help when it comes to digital arts and marketing? Look no further than NovaDigitalArts. You can check out their work at NovaDigitalArts at iCloud.com. Be sure to tell them the MLB Guardcast sent you. NovaDigitalArts, located in Greene, Ohio. Give our friend Derek a call at 234-716-1687. Nova Digital Arts, creating magic since 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode 17 of the MLB Guardcast. I am Mike Vorhies. He is Bryan Shaw, and I think I can speak for Bryan and go, well, it was fun while it lasted, right?
What was the moment? What was the moment that you said, it's over?
The Lucas Giolito start against the Twins when they absolutely shellacked us.
Yep, that was mine as well.
And David Fry ends up throwing 4 innings of relief as a utility guy. And now the MLB is going to change the rules so that next year a utility player can only pitch 1 inning.
Is that confirmed?
That's what I read on Twitter, that they are moving to make that a new rule for 2024.
Okay, so then what ends up happening is
we're going to blow through
is
arms?
Is it all utility? Is it a single guy?
Anybody that is not a pitcher.
So you can only have a position player pitch
correct.
1 inning.
Correct.
Got it.
Does it matter?
They were getting crushed.
What was the final? 20-3, 20-6.
That was my moment as well, because after they picked up the Angels bullpen off of waivers very late in the season, you got a glimmer of hope that, maybe they're going to make a little bit of a push. Maybe this will help the bullpen with Ronaldo Lopez and more. Yeah. And Lucas Giolito will be a nice addition to the rotation after they moved on from Syndergaard.
Right.
No,
it wasn't. I mean, I will say, the day that the Guardians were awarded 3 Angels, everybody was like, that's an injection. Oh my goodness, this team's going for it. I feel bad that the Angels had to. They ended up putting how many guys on waivers? I know Renfroe got claimed, and
pretty much anybody that wasn't under contract.
Yeah, I mean, they are trying to shell money. Now reports are Mike Trout will be available for trade this offseason, and that's well over $200 million still owed to Mike Trout. So the Angels are in disarray, but so are the Guardians. Folks, I hate to say it, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the season's over.
Yeah.
They're still playing, and we're 9 games away from being eliminated from playoff contention. We're 7.5 games back. So mathematically, there is still a chance.
So
we're eliminated.
So what does that mean? If you lose 2 more games, it's over?
Yeah. Because Minnesota has a 7.5 game lead on us. They play tonight. We do not. The Guards are off until Friday, where they will play the Texas Rangers at home. 7:10 is the start time. Our good friend and probably won't be back on the team next year, Lucas Giolito, takes the mound against Sonny Gray.
Well, interestingly enough, he did say he wanted to come back. Well, Sonny Gray is with
John
Minnesota.
Gray. John Gray is the Texas Rangers. So listen, if Lucas Giolito can figure it out and not serve up 5 home runs in an inning, I'll take him, because he was a former American League Cy Young Award winner. Ronaldo Lopez and Matt Moore are 2 quality bullpen arms when we needed them. Our bullpen has been taxed Emmanuel Clase has blown what, 11, 12 saves now, something ridiculous. Eli Morgan got torched yesterday when we had that game won against the Giants, and we let them come back and win in extra innings because Xavier Curry couldn't throw a strike. And these extra inning games, the ghost runner thing still annoys me to no end.
And apparently it annoys Emmanuel Clase because he can't pitch with a guy on second. I mean, how many of his blown saves are in extras? Like, and I kind of get like you got to figure that out, but at the same time, Tito's got to understand like this seems to obviously bother him, and it seems to be an issue. So why do you keep putting him out there in like the 10th inning or whatever?
Well, and speaking of Tito, folks, it is now official. The last time we recorded, we talked about speculation and rumor that Terry Francona would indeed be retiring. That was the rumor mill. He made that official. This season will be his last
I'd
as
say
manager.
He sort of made it official. Like the team's still kind of denying it. He said it on MLB Network on the radio broadcast. But then when it was brought up to Antonetti, he was like, oh, we still don't have anything definitive. But yeah, to your point, he's retiring. Every reporter says he's retiring. I even had a conversation with my ticket rep, and basically they were like, oh yeah, he's retiring.
Yeah, and I mean, it is sad. Don't get me wrong. Tito is going to go down as probably the fan favorite. Maybe second to Mike Hargrove, but I think he's past Mike Hargrove.
Yeah, I think it depends on probably your age and what era you grew up in.
I don't even know if that's true. I mean, the 90s teams were different. It seemed like they were in it every year. We weren't having this conversation in early September that the season was over for those 90 teams. 95, 96, 97, 98. Those teams were in it. I mean,
the 97 team actually wasn't. I mean, they made it to the World Series. I understand that, but like if you look at the regular season record, it actually wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't. But again, we're in one of the weakest divisions in baseball.
Yeah.
And that's never going to change. I would love for Major League Baseball to realign the divisions a little bit and kind of change things. I doubt that they will. I'm currently looking up.
I think they actually, I mean, there's been talk. Like I've seen some mock-ups that I like. I'd like to see them go a little more regional with it, because almost an elimination of the American League, National League, and or because expansion seems to be coming. So
Nashville's the next team. I wouldn't doubt Vegas being right behind them as well.
Oakland's moving to Vegas.
Well, that's true. Oakland goes to Vegas. Don't count out Canada. They could get another team. Montreal still would love to bring the Expos back. Expansion's coming. I think a realignment would make sense. I got some stats on Emmanuel Clase. So out of 51 save opportunities, he has 40 saves. He has blown 11. Tops in Major League Baseball.
In both.
Yeah. 11 blown saves, guys. That's an alarming rate. That's a lot.
Well, so it's multiple things. They don't score runs. So the saves opportunities are usually 1-run games. Or in extra innings. And you have situations like that where you scored a run in the top inning, you're only up a run, and then he comes in the bottom of the inning with a guy on second.
Yeah.
So, he gets the blown save, but an unearned run.
Right.
Because of the weirdness of base.
They need to fix that, because the ghost runner on second, I get it. Listen, I'll tell you this. The length of games this year has been incredible. I love that I can sit down at 7:00 and watch a baseball game and it be over a little bit after 9 o'clock. That's fantastic. The games go by super fast. MLB got what they wanted.
Yeah.
But they got to change the stats then a little bit, because 11 blown saves makes Emmanuel Clase look like he can't get the job done.
So
He
it's not
has
just
40 saves, but
it's not just Emmanuel Clase. So on July 6th, the Cleveland Guardians tweeted a graphic that has now become pretty infamous, that the bullpen was second in ERA, second in opponent average,
they jinxed themselves,
and first in WHIP. Okay, that was on July 6th. Would you like to know the numbers since July 6th?
You tweeted it out 2 days ago or yesterday, and
I updated it for last night's game because it's even worse now after last night.
I'd love to hear it. Where
so
are
now
we?
They're up to a 4.72 ERA. This is since July 6th. This is not total. So since July 6th, the 4.72 ERA, that would make them 22nd since July 6th in ERA. A 1.5 WHIP, 27th in the league in WHIP. And then a 2.65 averaged against, 26th. So they went from before July 6th to being one of the best bullpens in Major League Baseball to since then being one of the worst.
Well, and let's look at it this way. When you lost Shane Bieber, Tristan McKenzie, Noah Syndergaard couldn't really hold the fort down either. You throw Xavier Curry, Logan Allen, Gavin Williams, Tanner Bybee. Who am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but you throw all those young pitchers out there, they're approaching innings limits because the Guardians want to save their arms. But what I'm saying is, because they can't pitch more than 5 innings because they struggle with control, and that's going to happen with a young pitcher, you're forced to use your bullpen more often. And
yeah, I'm looking to see where they're at in innings pitched.
Those guys are getting taxed, unfortunately.
So and since July 6th, I said.
Yeah, so Tanner Bybee as of right now is at 136 innings. Logan Allen's at 122. Shane Bieber's at 117.
So Curry's
at 85. I find Gavin Williams is only at 76 innings. That doesn't seem right. Seems like not a lot.
Well, Gavin came later. I mean, Gavin.
I feel like he's pitched a bunch lately. Huh? Cal Quantrill's at 85. Get this: Emmanuel Clase is at 68.
Yeah,
that's a lot of innings.
The bullpen as a whole since July 6th, they are tied. They're in the lower half of innings pitched, so I don't think it's a usage problem. I just think it's a inconsistent talent problem.
I have a funny thing to tell you here real quick.
Sure.
So of the 28 Guardians players to throw an inning this year, at least one inning, Connor Pilkington comes in last place with 2 innings pitched this year.
Wait, when did Connor pitch? How do I miss that?
In 2023, they're giving him 2 innings pitched.
Did we bring him back? And I completely forgot
we missed it. I don't know. Tukey pitched 3 2/3. Matt Moore, one of our new acquisitions, has only thrown 3.2. David Fry has thrown 5 innings. Ronaldo Lopez 5 2/3. I mean, Lucas Giolito's thrown the same amount of innings as Tristan McKenzie, 10.
Oh man.
I mean, guys,
injuries.
This season's
been bad in general, and it's been annoying. Because it's just not been a fun season overall, and there's just a load of question marks, starting with manager and Tito, and honestly, Chernoff and Antonetti, deservedly so, has had a lot of praise with what they've been able to do with low budget, but if you look at the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years of moves, they don't look great.
No.
Extending Miles Straw doesn't look good now.
No.
Um,
No.
you
No.
let
No, wait, they extend Karen Chak too?
no,
I thought they did. Maybe he
no,
was
that's
one I
Trevor
was thinking
Stephan.
they were
I think you're
Oh,
thinking.
Stefan.
Yeah,
And he has struggled a little bit too
he's
as of
struggled
late.
as well. They extended Stephan. Um, letting Nolan Jones go. Maybe Juan Brito becomes a future second baseman, but letting Nolan Jones go and then watching him crush home runs when you're the lowest hitting home run team in baseball in Colorado. Will
But
Benson, another one.
but hold on. Nolan Jones plays where?
In Colorado, I mean, fine, but
I want to see
he's
what
hitting
his
them
stats are.
460 feet.
That's fine. I want to know what he's hitting in Colorado compared to everywhere else.
I'm sure I
And
can look
then
that up.
then we'll talk. Will Benson, though, I'll give you Will Benson. He never should have left.
When you need power and then you just traded away power for basically not a lot. It's a tough pill to swallow. And Miles
Yeah.
Straw, I looked it up the other day. Over the past 2 years, there was something like 250 players that have 600 at bats in the last 2 years, and Miles Straw is like fifth last in WRC plus. So I mean, if he, I don't mind him being on the team if he was used properly. Like you need two outfielders. Period. The end. And we were looking at the free agent list, you and I, for next season or for the off season.
Not great.
There's not a lot there, and I don't think that there's a lot that fits the profile. Jock Peterson's a free agent. He's not coming to Cleveland. He was mad at us 2 years ago.
Could you imagine though if he signs? We would boo him, correct? Or do we cheer him? I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
You don't even have to worry about it because it's not happening.
He's not coming here.
Michael Conforto's got a player option for $18 million. He's probably going to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Bellinger is going to be the prize of the bunch. I would love to have him.
He's going to end up with the New York Yankees.
He's going to, Yankees are probably his fit, and he's going to get a huge contract. Mm-hmm. Now, is he worth a huge contract because he has been inconsistent year over year? Debatable, but either way, that's what's going to happen. So he's not going to be a Guardian. Hernandez with Seattle was interesting to me because he crushes baseballs, but his strikeout rate is way too high for the Guardians.
Yeah,
probably not going to happen there. Mark Canha is
Mark Canha.
Yeah.
Mark Canha. No.
He was kind of the guy that I thought, you know what? That one might make sense because
he reminds me of Cole Calhoun
in his younger years.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't see the Guardians giving I don't think Cole Calhoun's back here next year.
No, probably not. I like his presence and whatever, but probably
he got
not.
His 10 years of he was finally awarded his 10 year of service time, so now he's guaranteed a pension.
Well, he'll probably retire.
Major League Baseball. Good job for Cole Calhoun.
Yeah,
he's been great here. I just wish we'd have had him all year and he'd be hitting like he was.
But my logic here with Mark is that, and he has a club option, I think, but I would guess it's not going to get picked up.
No, Mets will let him go. Or he's with the Brewers now. I think the Brewers will let him go.
So his hitting profile fits kind of what the Guardians do. He doesn't hit a lot of home runs. He's that veteran presence, but maybe you give him like a 2-year deal and for reasonable money. I mean, you threw away $6 million on Zunino. Give Canha 2 for $20 or something like that. And have him be a nice stopgap, like, because unless you can really get something in the trade market. But personally, I don't want to trade Shane Bieber this offseason. I think his value is super low, and I'd like to keep him on because we've seen the mess that the rotation can become with injuries. And I don't want to rely if you're going to start to try to make a push next season, right? Do you want to rely on do you want to put all your eggs in 3 second-year players? Yes, 3 very good second-year players, but you still need some veteran presence there. And we're still not sure if Tristan's going to be able to come back. He looked good the other night in Akron, but I mean, they were talking about Tommy John for him. So I want some insurance policy there.
Mark Canha will be 35 years old by the time the season starts next year.
Okay. Well,
I
like I
don't
said,
think
little
he
2-year
fits.
deal.
I don't think he fits the profile. I think you have a better chance of. I think you have a better chance of bringing somebody like Carlos Santana back before you bring in Mark Canha.
Then
There's so many question
the rest
marks.
of the list is Michael Brantley, Jorge Soler, Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe, I figured if they wanted him, they would have claimed him.
Well, maybe they did. I don't know how that worked. I can't believe that we were able to claim 3 pitchers.
Well, we would if we put in a claim for Renfroe, we would have got him because we had a worse record than Cincinnati.
Yeah. I think
Joey Gallo, no.
Well, I hold on a minute. Jorge Soler is interesting.
He has a player option at $9 million.
He hits bombs, but he loves Miami. So I can't see him leaving Miami, but he's got a pretty good stick.
He's got a player option, so he would have to opt out. And
he likes Miami.
And does he think he's going to make more than $9 million a season?
Probably. He's a home run hitter, so somebody's going to pay him money.
JD Martinez, Eddie Rosario. We're starting to get into retreads here. Michael Brantley.
Martinez,
you want to bring Brantley back?
They're both DHs only. Brantley can't even play the field anymore, and JD Martinez can hit, but he's a liability in the field. So he would be your DH.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, not a lot of options out there in terms of outfield help, and you need outfield help because. So Stephen Kwan we can pen him in for next season in the outfield.
In center field, yes.
You think he's the center fielder, not Will Brennan?
I would put him. I think defensively, Kwan is better in center than Brennan, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think Brennan looks more comfortable in left.
Brennan hasn't played a lot of left this season.
He's played some.
He's played a little bit. All right. So you're saying Brennan and left, Kwan in center. So you're gonna flip flop those two. Miles Straw, I'm sure, is gonna be back. I can't imagine they're gonna have an easy time trading him.
If somebody wants him, I mean,
it's $5 million unless you get like some low prospect return. But then my worst nightmare is like somebody uses him properly and uses him as a defensive replacement and
a pinch runner, and he does extremely well.
Right. So all right, let's just assume he stays. So that's 3 guys that you're keeping, where they play and how much they play. Oscar, I think, is done with this team.
Bad.
He I guess is just a quad A guy. He crushes it in AAA and then comes up here and you throw one up and in, and then you throw a slider down and away, and he's just going to chase him and chase him and chase him. And after sending him back down, I think he's done. We haven't seen George Valera come up. We haven't seen John Kenzie Noel come up. So I don't think it's going to be a young guy, because if they were going to bank on one of those guys for next season, I think we would have seen him by now.
Yeah.
Ramon Laureano, a little interesting. But he was cast off from Oakland, and I don't know if they're going to bring him back either.
I'd be surprised if they do, unless it's super cheap. I don't see it. I legit think we have a better chance of seeing Noel or Valera to start next season. I do. I think that's kind of because they both are hitting well. Noel is absolutely hitting bombs in AAA. He'll be here. Where he plays, I don't know.
So does he play? Who's your 5? Who's your 5 outfielders for next season?
I would say Kwan, Brennan, Straw, Noel Valera.
So no free agents, no trades. We're going young
I
guys.
don't see anybody in the trade market that they could get. I don't see anybody on that free agent list that makes a ton of sense unless you can get a player like Soler or Renfro and they come here and actually mash.
Well, I'll say this then. If that's the case, if that's the outfield next year, I mean, I'll put it on record right now. Like, I feel like that's a front office disaster. If you with a new manager, that's just too many young guys, too many unproven hitters. And maybe you catch lightning in a bottle with one of them, but like, I don't know. Personally, I'm getting tired of this hope and pray stuff. Like,
yeah.
And it looks like Gabriel Arias is going to be, he's got the keys to the car for shortstop. You're not convinced yet?
I don't like him. He had a 4 strikeout game. There are games where he looks like he's completely locked in at the plate. And then there are games where he looks completely lost.
It's against lefties. He can't hit lefties. He has to figure that out. But his defense is fantastic.
Here's what I say. I think you shift Andres Jimenez from second to short. You make him your shortstop of the future. Is Andres Jimenez.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Freeman, Gabriel Arias, Juan Brito. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Brian Rocchio, Jose Tena. Those guys can battle for the utility infield spot and second base. I think it'll be Juan Brito. From what I've seen at Akron, he looks really good. If he can take that to AAA and then he can come here, we may have made a great deal for Nolan Jones. But until he gets here, we won't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Jose is entrenched at third. Josh Naylor's entrenched at first, or he's a DH. Those two guys aren't going anywhere. Bo Naylor's your catcher. So you've got shortstop, you've got second base, you've got an outfield position. The front office is going to have to do something. This team does not hit consistently. There's no guy other than Jose and Josh Naylor that I fear in that lineup. If I can pitch around the two of them, I don't think anybody else will do damage.
Well, and we saw that with Naylor being hurt.
Right.
They were pitching around Jose and he had a terrible August.
Yeah. I mean, this team has so many questions. Pitching. What's Bieber going to be when he comes back? Are we going to get Tristan back? What about Lucas Giolito? What about these young guys? What about there's guys down at AAA that I'm sure we haven't seen yet? Joey Cantillo, are we going to see him? Do we bring back Matt Moore and Ronaldo Lopez and Trevor Steff? Like all these guys, what's the bullpen look like?
Right.
Like who's the manager? There are so many questions.
Yeah, there's a lot
that we don't have answers to. And it's frustrating for us. We're used to this team competing. We're used to this team being at the top or near the top. This year, that just hasn't been. They have been around 500 all season. They haven't gone on a big run like we're used to seeing, where they rattle off 9, 10, 11 wins in a row. It's been 1, 2, maybe 3, and then we lose 4. And it's been so up and down.
You have 5 guys under contract for next season, guaranteed. Right. It's Jose, Jimenez, Straw, Clase, Stefan.
Okay. Great.
And then you have.
Wait a minute. Did you say Naylor?
Naylor's under arbitration.
Both?
Bo Naylor's pre-arbitration.
Okay. But Josh Naylor's arbitration.
Like when I say guaranteed, like you don't. I mean,
Josh Naylor needs an extension.
Yes,
if he can stay healthy, I think he needs paid.
Yeah, I think he's priority 1. Him and Quan.
I would agree.
Naylor's priority 1 in terms of an extension. I think you absolutely have to, because you saw without another like power hitter in the lineup, you saw what that did to Jose. And so I'm just looking at arbitration. I want to look at arbitration guys of who they're not bringing back. Cam Gallagher is under arbitration his third year for next season. Probably not coming back.
Nope.
Nick Sandlin is his first year of arbitration. Probably will be back. You don't think so?
AAA maybe.
Well,
He hasn't really
you can sign
impressed me.
him. You can sign him, and then maybe he starts in AAA.
Yeah, he'd be a depth piece at most.
Well, that's what he is now.
Yeah.
And he's annoying because he'll be lights out for like 2 weeks, and then he can't find the plate for a week. And same thing with Sam Henches. Same thing. Henches is so there's a couple of guys in arbitration. Actually, there's a few. Naylor is going to be his third year of arbitration next season, but he might have a fourth year. I'd have to look at that. Plezak's probably not coming back. I don't think Karinchak's coming back. Laureano's probably not coming back. Eric Haas isn't coming back.
Yeah. We're going to have money to spend. Now, whether or not they spend it will be another. That's another question. What do you do with the starting rotation? What is your bullpen going to look like? These are questions, guys, that we're going to get to start answering here very soon.
Even if you remove Giolito, and I guess you assume health, which is a big assumption.
Yeah, don't assume health.
And then you assume you don't trade Bieber.
Right.
You have Bieber, McKenzie, Bybee, Gavin Williams, Logan Allen, Cal Quantrill.
That's
a deep rotation.
But we'll never go more than 5 guys. A 6-man rotation is almost unheard of.
Well, then, but you're right. So you option Logan Allen, or you move Cal Quantrill to the bullpen until somebody gets hurt, which is inevitable.
Right, that's true.
You usually need 6 starters.
Right. You have a long reliever, and that's what Curry has been for the most part, and you would move Quantrill to that. I get it. And then you run with, do that list again. You have Bieber,
Tristan,
McKenzie, Gavin Williams,
Bybee.
Who am I missing?
Logan Allen or Cal.
And then Quantrill. So there's your 6. So the starting rotation should be set. Your bullpen should mostly returning. Maybe a couple pieces here and there. Maybe a couple flyers on some guys.
Yeah, because there's some guys that have been up and down that will take the place of like Karinchak and Plezak, like Cody Morris, or there's some guys that have made appearances. Tim Herron. Some guys like that. They're going to end up being the youngest team in the league again next year. But I need trade Jose Tena and I don't know, and one of Brian Rocchio and Tyler Freeman, and go get an outfielder already.
I'd be okay with that. I don't want to lose Rocchio because I think he's very talented.
Then
he just hasn't been.
Then it's
he
Freeman.
hasn't. Then that's fine. If it's Freeman and Tana and maybe Khalil Watson or something to get a deal done where you can get me a power hitting outfielder or a power bat in the middle of this lineup that will produce. Absolutely.
Now we'll
need a backup catcher. We need to figure out who's on second, who's on first, who's playing short. Like we got all these things that are going to happen.
Well, the Savali trade, he'll be at first base.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Kyle Manzardo.
Yes, Manzardo. He'll
be
baseman.
Here. That's fine. Okay, and he's a power bat. So if he can hit, great.
But he's going to be a rookie. Another
see...
rookie. Because you were just talking about John Kenzie Noel and George Valera.
I really want to see Valera and Noel.
I want to see them too. But I wanted to see them a week
September
ago, 2
1st.
weeks
Right.
ago.
Right.
Not Ramon Laureano anymore. When
And Cole
Giolito
Calhoun.
gave
Yeah.
up 20 runs, or the team gave up 20 runs, Cole should have been on the bench. Laureano should have been let go, and a couple of guys called up.
Agreed. But they still feel like they're in it. If
All right.
Minnesota absolutely takes a bath,
They're
we're
not
still in it, but they're
No,
not.
not in it. We've been Debbie Downers. I want to talk about one good thing, and one person in one position that we didn't talk about really, and is nice and secure, and is secure for a long time, and that's Brother Bo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's proven himself defensively, offensively. He's really come on strong, and that's nice now that I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that position for a long time.
No, he started slow, and we were worried a bit, but then he's turned it on. He's hit well, played amazing defense. Bo Naylor is here, and he will stay here. And now we have the Naylor brothers and Jose. Those are the core three. Now we just need some pieces around them so that we can get back to competing and getting to the playoffs and making another run in the postseason.
Well, Mike, we kind of dug their grave. This has sort of been the kind of season recap, and
I'm waving the white flag.
What are we going to do for next season? But we'll put a bow on it when the season does end, and start talking about maybe some wish lists for the offseason a little bit more once we know maybe who could be available in trade, and who does pick up their options and things like that. So we'll do that here maybe in a few weeks, or when we start talking managers too. When they start bringing in managers and doing interviews, that's going to be really interesting. So we'll be talking about that as it comes, but I think we've kind of wrapped up this off season. We're on the socials. Mike, where can people find you?
Facebook and Twitter at Mike Vorhies. Brian, what about you? Where can they find you and us?
I'm at Weather Shaw, WXSHAW on X on Twitter. Bryan Shaw on Facebook. We are MLB Guardcast on Facebook, and Guardcast MLB on Twitter X. Things just didn't go the way we wanted to this year, unfortunately, but we'll keep talking about it, and we'll keep watching, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Until next time, guys, keep the faith. There's always next year, right, sports fans?
Yes, there's always next year.